gentlemen, and welcome back to the Heavily Contested Podcast, the podcast where
it's NBA playoff time, Flo. And the first round is just getting started.
Yeah, we're about a week late from the official start of this series, but better late than never. So, what we're going to do is, because of the fact that we missed that week, we're going to give you guys what our initial thoughts were before. We kind of had this already in our minds of who we had predicting to go all the way. So we're predicting our NBA champion from the beginning right now. Do you want to go first, Travis? Do you want to give how you feel like this whole playoff situation would play out?
Are you ready for this?
No, I'm not, but when have I ever?
Okay. So let's check this out. First round. I'm gonna just do my first round first.
Okay.
All right.
Let's go through.
First round, this was supposed to go down. This is what should have went down. There was no injuries, no nothing.
Yeah.
This is 100%.
Upsets.
This is what would have happened.
Or I guess.
Atlanta is beating the Heat in 7 games. Okay. Sixers, sweet. Raptors is trash.
Yeah.
They trash.
They just, yeah.
Bucks in 6. They beat the Bulls in 6. The Nets in 5. Not going to speak on what's going on right now, but them in 5. The Suns sweep because they were dominant.
Yeah.
I didn't expect the Pelicans to.
Well, it wasn't even just the Pelicans.
But yeah.
Cool. Dallas
in 7. That game is. Them games is kind of.
The 4 and the 5s are always kind of the best of the first round in most occasions.
Warriors in 6. I expected them to give a little of a challenge. It's not looking like that right now, but we'll leave that alone. And the Grizzlies in 5.
That's fair. At the current state, that looks like that could be a fair prediction.
You know what I'm saying?
All
Right. Now, we got Atlanta. We got Philly.
Oh, you had Atlanta. My bad.
Yeah.
You're crazy.
I had Atlanta.
Sorry, I missed that. I must have missed that. That's crazy. You had an 8 beating a 1.
Yeah.
Respectfully, that's crazy.
I'm serious.
That's crazy.
I'm serious. Yeah, so, right. Atlanta and Philly. This is Philly all the way. We're going for the 76ers in that.
Revenge.
Okay. So the Sixers go beat the Hawks.
Okay.
We got Milwaukee and the Nets.
Yeah.
I would choose the Bucks.
Okay. That's good. That's respectful answer.
I don't see Giannis being stopped by anybody.
That's a mismatch.
Okay.
Right there.
Then we got the Suns against the Mavericks. That's a sweep again. We're just gonna sweep. We're gonna sweep that again.
Yeah, I mean, at the beginning of going into the playoffs, the Suns did look unbeatable.
Yeah. And it's kind of like the Mavericks are really not on that level at all. They're not even like they're not on the Suns level.
At least, let's see. Obviously, in the playoffs now, there's people stepping up, but we'll talk about that later.
Warriors versus Grizzlies. I'll just take the Warriors, I guess.
I'm surprised. I really had a feeling you would go with Ja Morant.
I guess.
What's your reasoning for that? Is it truly just because you feel obligated to, or is it because you actually believe that?
I actually believe that the Warriors are a better team than the Memphis Grizzlies.
Okay. That's respectable.
Okay.
I understand that. That's respectable.
Now, we got Philly against the Bucks.
Yeah.
I think Philly wins.
Wow. So that's what you were going to go with.
That's what I'm going with. And I have the 76ers.
So you have James Harden actually second time in his career making it to the finals.
Yeah.
Since
and I see them going up against the Suns.
Okay, so you had the Suns beating the Warriors.
Suns beating the Warriors, as it kind of showed in the regular season.
I couldn't argue with that at the time.
And I think the Suns win the finals.
I think the Suns.
Devin Booker gonna go crazy. He been going crazy the whole season.
Yep.
And I didn't want to go bold here.
2 MVP candidates going at it right there in that finals.
I'm going for the Suns.
All right. Again, when you say the Suns are going to win, and especially because when you're looking at this prediction, you have to see it as before we've seen anything in these playoffs before.
Yes.
Going into it, I can't argue that. Mm-hmm. That's a solid prediction. Now, for me, the way I had it going down was I had Miami in 6 against the Hawks. It looks like they're surpassing expectations a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I had, when it came to Philly and Toronto, I had Philly in 5.
Maybe they just get it one little cute game.
Here's the thing: Toronto isn't trash, but they're 5 for a reason. But Toronto it has a product of a good coach in Nick Nurse, but they don't have a star.
Siakam's not a star.
I really don't believe Siakam is a star player. You know what I mean?
He's a great 3, I would say. A 3?
3, maybe even a solid 2.
Solid. Not a good
but
2.
not like a 1 option for me. You know what I mean?
Nah.
And like, I feel like we toss around the word star so much with NBA players that I feel like, you know, like, oh, Siakam's an all-star. That means he's a star player.
No.
I don't see it like that.
He's barely an all-star.
All-stars are based on votes, too, so it's very iffy with how they do that in the first place. But they're missing a true star. You know, Van Vliet, Siakam, those are all like kind of, it's a group of like supporting cast players.
You would love to have on your team, but if they the best players on your team, you're going to be a little upset.
Exactly. That's a great point. So that's how I see Toronto. But I still see them with good coach. I thought they could get a win. Now that's not looking too shabby right now. The other one, Milwaukee and Chicago. I had Milwaukee in 5. I still remember when we talked about fraudulent teams in these playoffs. Mm-hmm. I saw Chicago as one of them, as they're a team who didn't beat many playoff teams in the regular season. Now, it's a little interesting because of injuries. And I got to give, again, DeMar DeRozan is still one of the people I got to give credit for because he's a star. He's a star player. That's a number 1 option. That makes it interesting. In the other series, Boston and Brooklyn, I had Brooklyn in 5.
That's the same thing I had too.
I truly believed that despite the Celtics being the 2 seed, I still think that the way Kyrie was playing so efficiently, it's the fact that he was scoring, he had like so many 40 to 50 point games off of like 60 to 70% shooting, which is absurdly good. Mm-hmm. That is absurdly good. And he was going in, he was in rhythm. He has full clearance for every single game, home and away. You have Kevin Durant. You have should be a good supporting cast with Goran Dragic, Seth Curry, Andre Drummond. Like, these are guys that are like, they're not pushovers.
And they still have Joe Harris.
And they still have Joe Harris. They still have key supporting cast players. Claxton's actually looking pretty good.
Solid.
He's solid. What is happening?
Yeah.
And we'll get to that. But that's what I had. So I had Milwaukee and Brooklyn going up, and because of matchup issues, I think that Brooklyn still, while we talk so highly about their offense,
they can't handle Giannis.
They can't handle Giannis, and their defense is the most lacking part of that team. Yeah. They do allow a lot of points while still scoring a lot as well. So that's Brooklyn's issue, and I think Milwaukee would expose that with their size. Now, going to the other side, you had Miami and Philly, and now you had Miami who struggled a little bit with an 8 seed, and you had Philly who handled Toronto. I had Miami. In 7.
Oh, that would be so. I think it would be a great series.
I think it would be a great series.
I think that's actually still probably going to happen.
It's going to happen. That's probably one of the more definite series that's going to happen. I like that matchup for Miami. First of all, I just think Miami is, you have your star player with Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo, and then you got they do have a good defensive team.
They have the best depth, I think.
They have, best depth. Because then you got Victor Oladipo who's coming off a bench.
Yeah, don't even think about
Tyler
it.
Hero.
Mm-hmm.
Kyle Lowry. Duncan Robinson, 3-point specialist.
They got some great bench
PJ
players.
Tucker, good defender. You know, they got a great, and it's a good defensive team. So I think that they would have got Philly in a pretty much a longer dragged out series, but the home field advantage would come, to help Miami there. So I had Miami in 6. Now going to the Western Conference side, let's go quickly here. When it came to Phoenix and New Orleans, I had Phoenix in 4. When it came to Dallas and Utah, I had Dallas in 7. Yeah. I had that being a more interesting series. I'll be honest, it looks
like it might be that way.
Maybe, but it might look a little even scary for them. Other one, Golden State Warriors and Denver Nuggets. I had Warriors in 5. Looks like they might surpass my expectations a little bit. Memphis and Minnesota, I had Memphis in 4. It's actually too much of an interesting series for me. The fact that Memphis even had to make a comeback game.
I think Memphis and Minnesota is the best series so far. Second best, actually. I take back what I said.
Yeah.
Second best. The best one is definitely Boston versus Brooklyn.
It has that attention to it.
Even though it's 2-0, it's not.
You don't feel like it's over.
not too.
It's not over. It's not over. But yeah, actually, you're making a great point. That series so far has been really good, and especially because really Minnesota should be up 2-1 right now to be much more interesting. But we'll talk about that later too. Now, when it came to the next matchups, I had Phoenix versus Dallas. I had Phoenix in 6. I had Doncic giving them a bit of a series, but I still had Phoenix pulling through. For the Warriors in Memphis, I had Warriors in 7.
Yeah, it's going to be a great series.
I think that would have still probably is going to happen, my bad. But I think Memphis has matched up well against the Warriors all season long, that they would give them trouble. But, the way the Warriors are playing is how I expected them to play. I still think the Warriors, with the way they're playing, are going to come out on top.
Okay.
When it came to Warriors versus Phoenix, I had Warriors in 6. So I had the Warriors going to the championship. And now you already heard my other one, so I have Milwaukee versus Miami. I have Milwaukee in 6.
So you got your favorite player going against your favorite team, bro.
I'm taking a little bit out of your book, Travis, and I decided to let my bias guide me a little bit. But the fact is that my biased teams are actually the best teams probably in each side.
Okay.
If injuries don't apply.
Okay.
And then when you had Warriors versus Milwaukee, I had...
I already know what your answer is.
I had Milwaukee in 6.
Oh!
Yeah, that hurts. That hurts.
Oh!
But I have seen... It hurts. But I have seen in the past, 2016 is my base example of when the Warriors, especially with the size of the team that they have now, when you have to go against a bigger team, what happens? You know, in the end, in basketball, you can have as many good shooters as you want, but it takes one cold night and you're dead in the water.
You can't go in the paint, get an easy bucket.
No. And when you don't have someone that can defend Giannis, because we don't. Respect to Draymond. Definitely. And Draymond's played great against Jokic, but Jokic also isn't Giannis. Giannis is a much different player.
Yeah.
Quicker, faster, and stronger. I mean, there's just...
He's better in all areas.
Pretty much, besides like passing and shooting.
Yeah.
So respectfully, there's no one who can really defend Giannis out there. And I think that would hurt them in the end. Because just like how the Suns lost to them because they couldn't have a big man to deal with the Bucks size, it would have been the same for the Warriors.
See, you know what, Joe? I like that we both don't have the same answer. Because that shows that in this playoffs, there's a bunch of teams that have a chance.
Isn't it funny how we chose the 2 teams though that made it to the finals last year? It's a little funny, but it shows how good those 2 teams are and how much better they've gotten.